Welcome, Detroit Mercy graduates, families, and friends, to the 2020 virtual commencement ceremony. My name is Deborah Knight, and I am representing the McNichols graduate and undergraduate faculty. And it is my distinct honor to be the first to greet you at today's ceremony. We, of course, had hoped that we could have convened in an in-person ceremony to celebrate your achievements. We know how important this day is for all of you, and that there's no day more exciting for the entire university community than graduation. With the current circumstances that we find ourselves in, and to comply with the required guidelines, you are the very first class in Detroit Mercy's history to be a part of virtual commencement. Some of you completed your degrees in fall semester of 2019, but many of you finished in the winter and summer semesters of 2020. We, the faculty, are grateful for your persistence, flexibility, and focus to complete your degrees. Your spirit was inspiring to all of us. I know that this year our faculty are watching from home, and we are cheering for every one of you. On behalf of the faculty, I want to congratulate you on your achievement and earning your degree. Today is your day. You should have all received a copy of the official commencement program in the mail to follow along with today's ceremony, and it is also available on the official commencement website. Our ceremony will begin with our processional, which is led by our Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, carrying the University of Detroit Mercy Mace. The history of Mace dates back hundreds of years. It is a ceremonial symbol carried to special events, and our commencement officials will now enter and our ceremony will begin. Enjoy.
Miss Monica Williams, Dean of Students. Miss Anita Klug, Director of University Ministry. Dr. Jennifer Dean, Dean of University Libraries and Instructional Technology. Dr. Mark Denham, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education. Dr. Catherine Snyder, Dean of College of Engineering and Science. Dr. Joseph Eisenhower, Dean of the College of Business Administration. Dr. Janet Biardi, Interim Dean of the College of Health Professions and the Macaulay School of Nursing. Professor Daniel Patera, Dean of the School of Architecture. Professor Phyllis Crocker, Dean of the School of Law. Dr. Mert Aksu, Dean of the School of Dentistry. Dr. Catherine Punsalan Manlimus, Assistant to the President for Mission Integration. Mr. Thomas Mansour, Vice President for Finance and Administration. Mr. Arnold D'Ambrosio, Vice President for University Advancement. Ms. Deborah Stiefel, Vice President for Enrollment and Student Affairs. Dr. Antoine Garibaldi, President of University of Detroit Mercy. Good afternoon. I am Professor Pamela Zarkowski, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. It is my pleasure to welcome you to University of Detroit Mercy's 137th commencement and the first virtual commencement in our history. In the spirit of the Jesuit and Mercy tradition of inclusion, I welcome everyone connecting with us today. It is wonderful that the family and friends of our students across the United States and internationally are able to support their graduates, even though we cannot be together in person. Let us begin with an invocation offered by Father Gilbert Sangera of the Society of Jesus and Sister Judith Mauk of the Sisters of Mercy.
A good Mercy Jesuit education should make you all good citizens, prepared to live and participate in civil society where all can flourish and not just survive. Please bow your heads.
Gracious God, we call you by many names. Your generosity, your love is boundless. On this day of commencement, a day of new beginnings, we pause to give you praise and thanks as we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates.
God of wisdom, you have brought each of us here for a reason. Help our graduates share their knowledge and skills they have learned, always reflecting the values, ideas, cultures, and perspectives that have been part of their experience at Detroit Mercy.
God of love, we know that life is held together by relationships and that community is fundamental to society's well-being. Help our graduates and all of us to contribute to building safe, sustainable, nurturing, and healing communities. God of mercy, we rejoice in your ever-constant compassion. Help our graduates strive for justice as they work untiringly for peace.
God of hope, fill our graduates with imagination, courage, and passion that will give life to their dreams. We ask these blessings, O God of many names. Amen.
Thank you, Father Gilbert and Sister Judy. This day is truly a celebration of each and every student at Detroit Mercy achieving their goal of earning a specific degree. All graduates deserve recognition. Each student's journey to achieve their goal included smooth roads and some potholes. You made it. Others represent some special groups that we should recognize, including our international students, Rebuild, TRIO, veterans, non-traditional students, students balancing personal and family obligations, those that managed attending school while employed, first gen, and those that transferred from other institutions. We also want to recognize our athletes who balanced a commitment to their teams and academics. And to all our graduate students, thank you for choosing us to earn that second degree. It is now my privilege to present to you the President of University of Detroit Mercy, Dr. Antoine M. Garibaldi.
Thank you, Provost Zarkowski. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the faculty and staff of University of Detroit Mercy, I extend my sincere congratulations to the 2020 graduating class and to their parents and families, relatives, spouses, and friends who supported them over the years. I know that you had anticipated a very different graduation than this virtual celebration, but I appreciate your understanding as we acknowledge your accomplishments and celebrate your 2020 graduation. I begin by telling you a few important facts about your graduating class. There are 1,042 undergraduate and graduate students who have graduated with you, and like many previous classes of baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral graduates, your class is similar in some ways and diverse in others, particularly with respect to your ages, gender, and hometowns. First, 494 of the 645 baccalaureate degree candidates, or 77%, are 25 years old or younger. The youngest member of your class is 17, and the most mature is in the late 60s. Among our new graduate school alumni, 221 of the 367 master's and specialist graduates, or 60%, are under the age of 30, and the oldest candidate is in the early 60s. And our 18 doctoral candidates range in age from 28 years old to the 60s. Second, women outnumber men almost 2 to 1 in your undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral graduating classes. 65% women and 35% men. Congratulations, ladies. I can hear your loud applause. And 881 of our 1,042 graduates, 85%, are from Michigan. Among the 15% from other parts of the country and the world, 5% of you are from 20 different states in America, and the remaining 10% of your class are from 10 countries, including Angola, Australia, Cameroon, Canada, China, France, India, Iran, Nigeria, and Syria. Your diverse ages, gender, and hometown similarities and differences have hopefully provided you with a rich educational experience that you will treasure for the rest of your lives and use well in your professions, careers, and the communities where you will live and serve. Even though it has been almost 6 months since most of you have officially completed your academic work, I want to give you the following exhortation as some of you begin your first professions and others of you advance in your current career or transition to a new career altogether. My words of encouragement to you can be best summarized in the following quote of a well-known American who once said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope." Let me say that again. We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope. Over the last 8 months, we have all experienced numerous disappointments because of the challenges and unexpected presence of COVID-19, the most serious pandemic since the Spanish flu of 1918. I know that some of you have lost family members, friends, co-workers, and acquaintances to this dreaded virus, and I offer my sincere condolences to you. None of us knows how long our lives will be on pause, or how much more pain COVID-19 will inflict upon our communities. But until the number of cases declines to 0, we must be patient, follow the recommendations of health professionals, and most of all, be hopeful until a safe and effective vaccine is discovered. These difficult times that have brought so many disappointments will not last forever. As the quote says, we must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope. Remind yourself every day that the coronavirus is temporary, not permanent, and that a cure will eventually be found. And one of you might be the researcher who discovers that remedy. Some of your grandparents and parents may remember what their families experienced during the challenging years of the 1918 Spanish flu, the stock market crash of 1929, and the subsequent depression, or even the most recent Great Recession of 2007 to 2009. Those were indeed challenging times, but none of our parents gave up hope, and you must not give up hope either. I expect that you will have many joyful times and numerous occasions of success, but you will also have different kinds of disappointment in your life and in your professions. When those setbacks occur, remain optimistic and continue to be hopeful. The famous American who said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope," was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose life was cut short at the young age of 39 in 1968, and who inspired many individuals, and definitely me, to be hopeful. Stay close to your alma mater and your school or college as you join the more than 100,000 distinguished alumni living in all 50 states and 87 countries. I am very confident that you will bring distinction to the university and your professions as you make a difference in this nation and the world. Remember that disappointment is finite, hope is infinite, and despite the pandemic, Be optimistic, pursue your dreams, and set career and professional goals because life will indeed return to normal. Congratulations and much success, graduates, and may God's blessings be with you and your families always. It is now my honor to introduce a short video of the winners of the 2020 Vivere Ex Missione Living the Mission Award, which is presented each year during commencement exercises to graduating students who best exemplify the mission of Detroit Mercy. This year's winners are Donna A. Dudley from the College of Business Administration and Vanya I. Noguez, also from the College of Business Administration.
The University of Detroit Mercy is sponsored by the Sisters of Mercy and the Society of Jesus. These two Catholic religious orders are committed to educating the whole person, serving communities that lead to justice, recognizing the sacred in all people, and engaging the multiplex of identities within and surrounding our community. And Detroit Mercy embraces these values. Since 2009, the university has acknowledged students who embody these principles through exceptional commitments that accompany their academic pursuits. For the 2019-2020 academic year, 4 students have been awarded the Vivere Ex Missione Award, Latin for to live out the mission. While busy pursuing degrees in criminal justice and business administration, undergraduate student Donna Dudley saw food insecurity affecting others on campus. In response, she created The Hive, a student-centered resource focusing efforts as a food pantry for all Detroit Mercy students and located on the McNichols campus. In the first 2 months of 2019, The Hive provided students with more than 3,300 pounds of food. And throughout this pandemic, Donna has found ways to keep meeting this important need for Detroit Mercy students. As a student in the 5-year MBA program, graduate student Vanya Noguez has served in many capacities at the university, while also being a fierce social advocate for DACA students, refugees, asylum seekers, and identifying injustices brought about through negative descriptions of Mexicans and Mexican Americans. For these reasons and many others, Donna, Vanya, Veronica, and Bilal truly exemplify the Detroit Mercy mission with futures that will set the world on fire while being shining lamps giving light to all around them. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Garibaldi, and congratulations to the award winners. The honor of giving the valedictorian address is based on the student's academic excellence, institutional involvement, and the student who has a meaningful message they would like to deliver to their fellow graduates. The valedictorian of the class of 2020 is Ms. Sarah Hirschman from the College of Liberal Arts and Education. Sarah received a Bachelor of Arts with a major in elementary education and a minor in leadership with summa cum laude honors in April. Since your graduation, Sarah is teaching at Christ the King Catholic School in Detroit.
Hello, my name is Sarah Hirschman, and today I want to take you all on a trip around the world. A trip to figure out what it means to live out the values that we always hear about at our university. But what do these values actually mean? And what do they look like when they're being lived out? This trip is going to start far away and end here in our hometown. I believe that storytelling is one of the most powerful ways to communicate. So here are some stories that taught me some of the most important life lessons I will ever learn, and what it really means to live out these values. First, what does it mean to be a servant leader? I'm going to take you to Jelly Beach, Haiti. I want you to imagine you're actually in Haiti. If you've never been there before, close your eyes and picture what I describe. A blanket of heat is on you, but it feels wet because of the droplets of sweat dripping from your body. You haven't felt clean for days. You have no running water, and with all the bug spray you have to put on to stay away from the mosquitoes so you don't get chikungunya, you just feel sticky. You walk into the community center and are immediately greeted with a hug and a huge white smile. You swing the little girl around and set her down so you can get out the snacks you brought her. You give her a bag of Cheetos from your backpack, and the first thing she does is offer you some. Then she goes and offers her little sister some. Then her friends. Now, this may seem like a small act of service, but I want you to remember where we are. We are in Haiti, at a community center, surrounded by a slum. This little girl is 5 years old, and if she's lucky, she eats 1 meal a day. Before this hungry little girl ate the food you brought her, she offered you some, her sister some, and her friend some. Before this 5-year-old hungry child ate free food, she went out into her community and offered them some first. She got nothing out of this act of service. There was no one to reward her. That is what servant leadership looks like. Next, I want to know what it means to live a life full of faith. Now, I don't just mean faith in God. I mean faith in yourself, faith in humanity, and faith in the future. So I'm going to take you to one of my favorite places in the world. Imagine you are in Nairobi, Kenya, in Kibera, which is the biggest slum of Africa. You're walking through the slum on your way to school, and you see children lying in the street, naked, clearly malnourished and sick, many infected with malaria. You see some with their ribs sticking out so vividly you can barely look. Kids with their stomachs extended due to starvation, or children with sores all over their bodies and bugs in the wounds. You're overwhelmed by the poverty and living conditions. You're trying to comprehend why you can't just pick up these children and feed them and bring them to a hospital. It's only 7:30 a.m. and you're not sure how much more of this you can handle. Then you get to school. You walk into a classroom the size of one of the bathrooms in Callahan Hall with 50 smiling students inside. You wonder how they could be smiling. The program coordinator says they're about to have worship for the morning. Then one student stands in the front of the classroom with a Bible and reads some scripture. And then the whole class stood up singing and dancing praise. A class of 50 students, at least half who have lost a parent, at least 75% who are hungry, and 100% who live in a slum, are singing at the top of their lungs praise for God. These students had faith that they had a way out through education. They had faith in a God bigger than the struggles they were going through. They had faith in each other and their ability to push each other to be their best. That is what faith looks like. Lastly, I want to know what kindness looks like. I've recently done my student teaching at an elementary school nearby, and the motto of the school was to always be kind. It's simple yet so profound. Some of the kindest people I have met during my time at school were those who have the least and were going through the worst. The most grateful people were always the kindest to me and to others. I've had the privilege to volunteer at a variety of different places in Detroit. Through these experiences, I have been shown kindness by more people than I've been able to show kindness to. Now imagine you're at a soup kitchen downtown Detroit. You started volunteering every week and learning the names of the friends you were serving. It is incredible to be able to build relationships with the people there. You go around and talk to your friends after you serve them food. They look exhausted, cold, and tired. But when you ask them how they are, they say blessed. Then they ask you about how your soccer game went against Milwaukee last week. They ask how your teammate with the torn ACL is doing. They show you kindness even on their worst days. You continue on, astonished by the kindness you are receiving. And you ask if people are done and collect their plates. Then one of the people you are serving starts helping you collect the plates and garbage too. This exhausted man starts to help you serve. This was the time of day where the people who were experiencing homelessness or were out of a job could be warm and relaxed. Yet they were up on their feet being kind to me when I was there to be kind to them. They taught me that to be kind just means showing up every day and being present. It's easy to be kind on the good days, but living a life full of kindness is being kind on the bad ones too. The little things you do to be kind are the little things that make big changes in the world. That is what kindness looks like. When I think of what it means to live out these values, I think to sum it up, I would say to serve and lead in communities, to live by faith, and to always be kind. I am so grateful for the way this school has given me the opportunities I have had, and the way they have shown me what it means to live a life with a full heart. I've been all over the world, and Detroit is so special for so many reasons. I have been and will always be drawn back to this place. Thank you for making my experience here amazing. The biggest hope I have for everyone here is to continue to live a life of servant leadership, faith, and kindness. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hirschman. We are glad you were able to join us today for this special celebration. The deans of their respective schools and colleges of the university will now present the candidates who completed their requirements during the 2019-2020 academic year. Names of the graduates will scroll on the screen in order of the program while each dean is speaking. The candidates for the doctoral degree, specialist degree, master's degree, and bachelor's degree from the College of Liberal Arts and Education will be presented by the dean, Dr. Mark Denham.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, I have the honor to present these candidates for Doctor of Philosophy, Specialist in School Psychology, Master of Arts in Economics, Master of Arts in Financial Economics, Master of Arts in Liberal Studies, Master of Science in Computer and Information Systems, Master of Science in Information Assurance, Master of Science in Intelligence Analysis, Master of Science in Applied Data Analytics, Bachelor of Arts, Honors Program, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science in Computer and Information Systems, and Bachelor of Social Work, and recommend that such degree be conferred upon them. I'm so pleased to be with you today as we celebrate the 2020 graduating class. In normal times, commencement would be in May, and I would be greeting you in person. After you received your diploma case from the president, I would offer you my hand, look you in the eye, and say, congratulations. This year, that was not possible, and this virtual commencement will have to do. And so I will virtually look you in the eye and say, congratulations. It is to each graduate of the College of Liberal Arts and Education that I bring greetings from the college, and we trust that each of you are finding success and meaning in your post-graduation life. Your first years here at Detroit Mercy may have been easy and fun, or perhaps they were hard and challenging. But your last year here was far from normal. Those last few months, they depressed us, scared us, concerned us, and during your last semester, you experienced one of the great crises of recent history. Specifically, the last 2 months of winter term, and all the months of summer term if you were still finishing up, challenged you in ways that you may never have been challenged before. But you know what? You faced those challenges head on, and you prevailed. And you deserve to congratulate yourself, and your family should congratulate you too, because you got through that time. All because you were tough and brave and resourceful and persistent. You figured out ways to learn to go to class in your pajamas, maybe with children or siblings or pets or parents or a spouse sharing your space and getting in your way. You solved problems of finding a decent Wi-Fi signal and problems of how to manipulate numerous programs and apps. You stared at a computer screen for hours and figured out how to communicate with others on Blackboard Collaborate and on Teams and Zoom. You've graduated into a world the likes of which we've never known before. We hope and know that this pandemic will not be with us forever. But we also know that when it's gone, our lives will not go back to being just the way they were. The world is always changing, and today is always different from yesterday. Graduating at this time, you have begun and you will continue to discover many new ways of living. Some of you started new jobs in the last few months, and you've never met your coworkers in person. I know one grad who started a new position, and she's never set foot in her employer's building. Things are changing, and you are learning to adapt. You have to and will discover new ways of working. You're going to be discovering more ways to create relationships with coworkers, with friends, with potential life partners. And you will, because you are resourceful, creative, and engaged. And you're that way in part because of the education you received, and because of the situation in which you live. Of course, yours is not the first group to graduate during challenging times. Each year, students faced challenges, and they overcame them, and they have graduated and gone on to contribute to society. Graduates of the College of Liberal Arts and Education have gone on to pursue a wide variety of careers. In part, that is because this college is the most diverse in the university. We offer certificates, undergraduate degrees, master's degrees, and the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in a wide variety of subject areas, from English to cybersecurity, from criminal justice to history, from philosophy to counseling, from theater to social work. Importantly, as a graduate of this college, you join the ranks of a diverse set of professionals working in many different fields. Some are working as data analysts, addictions counselors, cybersecurity specialists, journalists, judges, teachers, principals, and professors, museum curators, novelists, social workers, crime investigators, advocates for the homeless, attorneys, business owners, therapists, actors, clergy, poets, public relations professionals, financial analysts, and artists. It's a long list, isn't it? And these are just a few of the careers for which this college has prepared you and has prepared previous generations. And this is just a general list. What about some specific alumni? One has been Chief Creative Officer for McDonald's and developed most of the advertising jingles that you grew up with. Another alum was a White House correspondent for the Associated Press and was in the White House almost daily. One is a Michigan Supreme Court justice. One has owned radio stations throughout the U.S. and Canada and is well known for firing Howard Stern not once, but twice. Elmore Leonard is an alum who's author of books and screenplays and responsible for the movies Get Shorty and Life of Crime starring Jennifer Aniston and many others. And Keegan-Michael Key, Emmy winner, actor, comedian, writer of The Key and Peele Show. Of course, those are just a few of the alumni from this college. There are thousands more who have served society in thousands of impactful ways. They are doing all of these things and making the world a better place, in part because of what they received as students of University of Detroit Mercy and the College of Liberal Arts and Education. You join an impressive group of alumni who have been instrumental in making the world a better place. And you can and will do the same. The world, is not entirely safe or healthy or nurturing. But we want you. In fact, we need you to bring change to our world. We need a world that is safe, healthy, and nurturing. And we beg you to use all of your education, all your creativity, all your skills, and all your heart to build the future and to change the world for all of us. Thank you for spending your time with us here at Detroit Mercy. Everyone who is a part of the College of Liberal Arts and Education congratulates you and wishes you a boundless future.
The candidates for the doctoral degree, master's degree, and bachelor's degree from the College of Engineering and Science will be presented by the Dean, Dr. Catherine Snyder.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the College of Engineering and Science, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Doctor of Engineering, Master of Civil Engineering, Master of Environmental Engineering, Master of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Master of Mechanical Engineering, Master of Science in Product Development, Master of Science in Software Engineering, Master of Science in Technical Management, Bachelor of Science, Honors Program, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering, Bachelor of Architectural Engineering, Bachelor of Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Electrical Engineering, Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering, Bachelor of Robotics and Mechatronics Systems Engineering, and Bachelor of Engineering, and recommend that such degree be conferred upon them. Graduates of the College of Engineering and Science, thank you for your patience and resilience as we celebrate this unique commencement for the class of 2020. Reflecting on our graduates, I'm inspired by your perseverance and your engagement during this time at the university. I'm so grateful to be able to share in a small part of your journey. Here are a few highlights. The College of Engineering and Science has one of only 10 BUILD programs, a National Institutes of Health funded program for building the infrastructure leading to diversity of biomedical researchers. BUILD scholars juggled their coursework while being employed as research assistants in faculty labs, making research contributions and providing leadership on campus. Detroit Mercy students have traveled to the Sahara to participate in an archaeological dig. Others have worked on collaborative projects with researchers in El Salvador. Engineering students have traveled to France, getting a perspective about engineering industry in other countries. Students have come from all over the world, including China, Korea, India, Eastern Europe, the Middle East, Mexico, Canada, and many other places to study at Detroit Mercy. Engineering students work together on projects like constructing and racing a concrete canoe, doing energy audits for churches and schools, converting a vehicle to make it autonomous, and competing with it, designing, prototyping, and delivering assistive technology devices to veterans and industry partners, joining students from smaller schools to beat out U of M, MSU, MTU, Notre Dame, and Purdue in an engineering challenge competition. Students participate in service projects and take the lead on campus activities through student organizations like SWE, SHIP, Latinx, ESD, Pre-Dent, Pre-PA, Pre-Farm, Pre-Med, Biology and Chemistry clubs, which, by the way, has received an Outstanding Chapter Award from the American Chemical Society for the 17th straight year. And students have created newer organizations like TEDx Detroit Mercy, bringing new ideas and people together to share them. Students have worked on projects with faculty, such as creating a model from voting data to determine factors that influence ballot initiatives, and developing websites and databases to help local companies. Engineering and science students of all majors have donated their time and talents to tutor peers and high school and middle school students in technical subjects. A significant number of undergraduate students have presented their research at conferences locally, regionally, and nationally, many of them graduating as published researchers. Graduate students working alongside faculty on challenging industry and faculty projects bring new insights and new knowledge to advance the work. Students have met with legislators, getting an inside look on how government policy impacts science and engineering, and vice versa. Graduates, these experiences and the friends, faculty, classmates, and others you've interacted with has shaped you. And although your senior year may not have gone how you would have scripted it, and it may feel that a lot of this year was out of your control, I hope you choose to focus on what you do have control over. You have agency to make choices. You made a choice to study at the University of Detroit Mercy and chose to study in a STEM discipline. You chose to study for that test or help a friend with their calculus homework. You chose to go to that club meeting, to go to faculty office hours, to finish that engineering project, to join that protest, to present your research at a conference, or to call your mom. You can choose how to respond to someone you don't agree with. You can choose how to use the privilege of the education you have received. You can choose how to be a lifelong learner and engage with others and with a sense of curiosity and compassion. You can choose to spend time understanding the human context of the problems you will work on in your career. You can be discerning about options for solutions and attentive to whether they increase disparities or help to resolve them. Detroit Mercy has as its mission a commitment Those of us who work here chose Detroit Mercy because we value that commitment to you, our students, to help you develop into more than just respected scientists, healthcare professionals, mathematicians, computer scientists, and engineers. We want to inspire you to pay attention, to reflect, to inquire, and to act from a place of affection for our world and those that inhabit it. But we also look to you to inspire us. You inspire and engage us as you challenge us to be better, to look with a fresh perspective, to be aware of our biases, to work on dismantling systemic barriers that marginalize, and tackle environmental challenges that compromise this earth. We look to you, class of 2020, to mobilize those who will investigate, innovate, and create, to find solutions to the complex issues that challenge our world, and to find common ground that connects us. Thank you.
The candidates for the master's degree and bachelor's degree from the College of Business Administration will be presented by the Dean, Dr. Joseph Eisenhower.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the College of Business Administration, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration Honors Program, and Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, and recommend that such degrees be conferred upon them. Graduates, we are all deeply gratified to mark this milestone with you. You and your family should be very proud that you've earned your degrees from one of the finest Catholic business schools in America. During your years at Detroit Mercy, our accounting program achieved the highest pass rate on the Certified Public Accounting Exam of any college or university, public or private, in the entire United States. Our finance students, placed among the world's top investors in international competitions, and now manage a portfolio of assets called the Majestic Fund. Both our management program and our MBA have consistently been ranked by U.S. News and World Report among the nation's very best undergrad and graduate management programs. We've also streamlined our MBA, reduced the tuition, and made it available online. We've expanded our Center for Social Entrepreneurship and added an academic concentration in that field. And we've launched the Center for Practice and Research in Management and Ethics with a speaker series, a college ethics competition, a research journal, a high school essay contest, and soon a studio for learning about teamwork through technology. Every single one of you has studied business ethics, and every one of you has engaged in service learning, using the skills you've developed in the classroom to strengthen our community. Your freshman business projects donated profits to charities. You taught financial literacy to teenagers. You provided free income tax assistance to neighborhood residents. You served as business consultants to nonprofit organizations. You even founded and operated social enterprises to help alleviate food insecurity. Our society is already a better place because of you. The past 12 months have not been easy for anyone, but you overcame the challenges, and you've earned a business degree that will remain on your resume, identifying you as a Detroit Mercy graduate for a lifetime. I trust that you'll carry that identity proudly and live out our Jesuit and Mercy values as you pursue your chosen career. And I hope you'll remain active in the College of Business Administration as an alumni board member, a mentor for students, a guest lecturer during Alumni Week, and in many other ways. In the meantime, congratulations to each and every one of you.
The candidates for the master's degree and bachelor's degree from the College of Health Professions will be presented by the interim dean, Dr. Janet Biardi.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the College of Health Professions, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Master of Health Services Administration, Master of Science in Nurse Anesthesiology, Master of Science Physician Assistant, and Bachelor of Science, and recommend that such degree be conferred upon them. On behalf of the faculty and staff, congratulations to all our graduates. We are so proud of all that you have accomplished. Today we come together to celebrate your graduation and reflect upon all that you have achieved. I am certain that when you returned from Christmas break and began the winter semester, you did not envision the final semester of your program in the way that it actually transpired. Not only did your classes move to a virtual platform, but clinical practice rotations and internships were suspended and in some instances moved to a virtual platform. Both faculty and students were forced to quickly adapt to changing circumstances. Despite some bumps in the road and navigating some new territories, everyone persevered. Faculty and students successfully regrouped. As soon as it was feasible, students returned to complete clinical medicine rotations, operating room rotations, and health service internships. You took on these challenges with professionalism and grace. In the end, you can all give yourselves a well-earned pat on the back because you did it. Yet none of us should be surprised. Detroit Mercy and the College of Health Professions prepare students to lead and serve in the Jesuit and Mercy traditions. Leadership, service, and excellence are core values of the College of Health Professions. Our programs are grounded in excellence and quality, which is recognized nationwide. Both our nurse anesthesia and physician assistant programs have been ranked by U.S. News & World Report for 2021, with nurse anesthesia ranking as one of the top 10 programs in the country. We have a long history of graduates who have gone on to serve in a variety of leadership roles, such as Executive Director, Senior Medical Manager, and Chief Nursing Officer. I imagine our current graduates will assume similar roles. Your career will span decades, and the opportunities that are before you are immense. You will need to become active, lifelong learners who are able to adapt to ever-changing conditions. Your experience at Detroit Mercy, and in particular during these last several months, have allowed you to fully integrate the core values of a Detroit Mercy Health Professions education. It has been my privilege to bear witness to the many ways you have demonstrated those core values. Such examples include working on the front lines as first responders, volunteering in your community, and coming together to make masks for nonprofits, and the list can go on and on. It is my wish that the education you received from Detroit Mercy provides you with the foundation to achieve all of your ambitions. I wish each of you a journey of success as you move forward in your professional career. So go forward and enjoy the ride.
The candidates for the doctor's degree, master's degree, and bachelor's degree from the Macaulay School of Nursing will be presented by the Interim Dean, Dr. Janet Biardi.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the Macaulay School of Nursing, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice, Master of Science in Nursing, and Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and recommend that such degree be conferred upon them. On behalf of the faculty and staff, congratulations to all the baccalaureate nursing graduates from Detroit and Grand Rapids campus, our master's graduates from the Family Nurse Practitioner, Adult Gerontology Clinical Nurse Specialist, Health Systems Management, and Clinical Nurse Leader programs, and our Doctor of Nursing Practice graduates. We come together today to celebrate all that you have accomplished. After spring break, many of you returned, eagerly anticipating the last weeks of your academic journey. Plans were well underway for convocation, transition ceremony, and commencement. Many of you had plans for a long-awaited vacation, a wedding, or other major event. All these events interrupted. We never imagined everything would be so upended. Detroit Mercy and the Macaulay School of Nursing had to quickly respond. Classes shifted to an online format. Clinical rotations in both the undergraduate and graduate programs were suspended in late March. The Michigan Board of Nursing implemented emergency rules to allow undergraduate nursing students to complete requirements in a virtual format. Both students and faculty were required to become flexible, innovative, and learn new skills. Students were able to complete program requirements and graduate on time. The state of Michigan implemented additional emergency regulations to allow baccalaureate students to enter practice as a graduate nurse and delay their licensing exam for up to 1 year. This was in response to the critical need for health professionals to meet the needs of our hospitals. Many of our baccalaureate students were already employed in nurse tech positions and were able to immediately enter the workforce and support the critical needs of hospitals. The response of all our graduates was immediate. Most of our master's advanced practice nursing students continued to be employed as registered nurses while attending classes. These students told us about their long shift hours, lack of personal protective equipment, and demands placed on their family and school life. Yet, they persevered and completed all program requirements. Our Doctor of Nursing practice students who were in the final stages of their program had to find new ways to meet the rigorous demands for completion. Doctoral presentations were moved to a virtual framework, and the usual celebratory gatherings had to be foregone. We are pleased that our preliminary data indicates that all our graduates have been successful in licensing exams, certification exams, and employment. It is important to note that despite all the obstacles presented, graduates rose to the occasion and demonstrated the qualities of a Detroit Mercy nurse that have been our hallmark for more than 70 years. The early history of Mercy College, named the Macaulay School of Nursing after consolidation, was conceived out of need and survived because of risk and hope. Each of you have been true to the spirit of that early history in Catherine Macaulay, the namesake of our school. We see examples of this every day. Students who participate in contact tracing, work alongside Doctors Without Borders to provide education to nursing homes and adult foster care facilities on infectious disease transmission, volunteer in food banks, or serve as peer educators. Catherine Macaulay once stated, "The simplest and most practical lesson I know is to resolve to be good today, but better tomorrow." As Detroit Mercy Nursing graduates, you have clearly demonstrated how you can be better tomorrow. Detroit Mercy faculty continue to work graciously to accommodate the needs of students, and the Macaulay School of Nursing strives to continue to develop high-quality programs to meet the needs of the workforce. As we look to the future, the faculty and staff are working together to redesign undergraduate curriculum, implement a master's direct entry program for persons with a degree outside of nursing, welcome our nurse anesthesia students to the Doctor of Nursing practice program, and begin an emergency nurse practitioner certificate program. The Macaulay School of Nursing has much to look forward to in the future, and true to our heritage, continues to be better. You are graduating during a special time. In honor of the 200th birthday of Florence Nightingale, the World Health Organization designated 2020 as the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife, and we had hoped to host a celebratory function. Nurses play a vital role in providing health services. They are often the first and only point of care within a community. The International Year of the Nurse and Midwife highlights the enormous sacrifices and contributions of nursing professionals. Although this designation occurred well before the pandemic, it could not be timelier or truer. What began as a year devoted to celebration has taken on even more meaning. The courageous work of nurses and other health professionals has been highlighted over and over in the media. I want you all to know that you have been courageous. And despite not having the opportunity to celebrate the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife together and in person, we will hold the 2020 graduation class close in our hearts and minds. I once told a group of graduating nurses that during their career they would be with people, all kinds of people, at their most vulnerable time. When a person is at their sickest and most vulnerable, you, their nurse, will be the one who will spend the most time with them. Sometimes you will be all that there is when someone dies. You will be the one to hold their hand and bid their final prayer. Always do it with grace. I promise that you will find great joy in the work that you will do. I would like to conclude by wishing you the best and much success in the future, and in the words of St. Ignatius of Loyola, go forth and set the world on fire.
The candidates for the master's and bachelor's degrees from the School of Architecture will be presented by the Dean, Professor Daniel Patera.
President Garibaldi, on behalf of the School of Architecture, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Master of Architecture, Master of Community Development, Bachelor of Science in Architecture Honors Program, Bachelor of Science in Architecture, and recommend that such degree be conferred upon them. As a parting statement, I would like to leave you with 3 thoughts. First, as faculty and administration, we see that it is a part of our job to instill the ability to be self-critical and self-reflective in everything you do. We ask that you self-reflect on what you do and then self-correct on how you do it. In fact, it means very little if you self-reflect and do nothing about it. Second, you always have a home here at the School of Architecture. It took me years to figure that out with my own alma mater, but I hope it does not take that long with all of you. Just because you have graduated does not mean that we cannot still be a part of your continual growth and aspirations. And why not be a part of the growth and aspirations of our future students? Third, climate change, discrimination for any reason, a viral pandemic that places the world on hold. These situations ignore property lines, building codes, local and national political boundaries. These situations are what you have been prepared for by our faculty and community partners. These things have everything to do with how our disciplines will change or not change, how they will grow or not grow. The architects and the community developers' ethical responsibility is to a world that does not see boundaries between properties, neighborhoods, cities and towns, states and nations. We hope that you will remember that the work you do has implications far beyond property lines or neighborhood limits. We look forward to seeing your contributions in the future. Congratulations to all of you.
Now that the candidates from all of the colleges and schools have been recognized, a very solemn moment is about to take place when the president of the university confers the degrees. This marks the official moment when graduation actually occurs.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the bachelor's, master's, specialist, and doctoral degrees for which you have been recommended, and now pronounce you sons and daughters of University of Detroit Mercy forever. Congratulations.
As a sign of the granting of your degree, if you are wearing a cap, now's the time when everyone would move their tassel from the right to the left side of your cap. Please join us wherever you are watching to congratulate our graduates. As an alumnus, there are a broad variety of benefits designed to assist you personally and professionally. We hope that you take advantage of those benefits, continue your engagement with your university, and advocate for the men and women who will follow in your footsteps. We look forward to having you join us for homecoming in the future or attending a sporting event on campus. You can also join Forever Titans, your alumni community platform, to learn about all the opportunities available to you. Our ceremony is now complete, and we thank you for watching today to honor the class of 2020. Will those here please rise as we recess from today's ceremony?